Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Yo, what up? This is Rocky Asuka Romero of Chaos, and you are listening to Keepin It Strong Style, the ace of podcasts.
Yo, this is Rich Latta from One Nation Radio. This is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network. We present to you the ace of podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Let's go. It's the ace of podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Covering New Japan, they ready to hold it down. Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Josh. Come and hit a job out and bury all the frauds. From the Tokyo Dome over to the G1. Social Suplex is the network where we can get it done. I'ma chill and let them have it, cause this is just an intro. Keeping the strong style, 6 stars from the get-go, boy. Yeah, from Tampa Bay to the Tokyo Dome, this is Keeping It Strong Style with your hosts, Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Joshua Smith. And thank you for listening.
Hey guys, it's Jeremy Donovan here from Keeping It Strong Style. What you're about to hear is audio from the press Q&A that we did on Friday afternoon. You will hear interviews with Okada, Jay White, Kevin Kelly, Zack Sabre Jr., Juice Robinson, Kenta, Ishii, Tanahashi, and Naito. Enjoy.
When you went to California recently, and a previous excursion, you talked about In-N-Out Burger and your experiences. Have you had Whataburger since you've been to Texas? Okay. Yeah, easy. Is there anyone in particular that you think will give you a good challenge in this year's G1? 質問変わりました。変わりました。その前の質問なんだっけ？その前なんかもうね、分かんないですけど。あ、いいです全然。はい。You can have your question now. The previous one. Oh, yeah. Hey. Do you want me to just ask it again? Yeah. Oh, okay. When you went to California last year, I believe it might have been Ryan Sadden asked you your experiences with In-N-Out Burger in California, and we were wondering if you had tried Whataburger since you had been here to Texas, because that's kind of our staple here.
前回毎回やるときに、はい、教えてましたけども、今回テキサスで、何か食べられますか？
もう昨日ですね、ワダバーガー行きましたし、もうそのバーガー見て言っちゃいましたね。ワダバーガー。
So I've been to Whataburger yesterday. I couldn't stop going there. And when I see it.
Thank you. Go ahead, Steve.
If you win the G1 Climax 29, will you declare the runner-up as your number one contender for the Tokyo Dome, or will you choose a different opponent?
You repeat it? Yeah.
Oh, if you win the G1 this year, will you declare a runner-up as the number one contender or someone else?
G1 で勝たれたら、勝者を、
挑戦者を選びますか？まあそうですね。まあその時の、G1 クライマックスでどうなるかもわからないですし、僕が優勝して選んでいいんであれば、今回の G1 クライマックスの戦いを見て熱い人を選びたいなと思いますね。
So if I'm in a position to pick the opponent, then I will pick the one who did well in the G1.
Go ahead, Mike.
Can you compare your excitement for tomorrow with G1 Climax being in Dallas to challenging for the IWGP title in Madison Square Garden? How different is or similar is the excitement?
明日の G1 クライマックス開幕戦と、あとはマディソンスクエアガーデンで、IWGP チャンピオンに挑戦した時の、どちらの方が興奮しているかというか、どちらが盛り上がっているかというのを教えてください。
どちらもそれは盛り上がってますね。そのマディソンスクエアガーデンで IWGP のベルト挑戦っていうのもそうですけど、今回こうやって G1 クライマックスが初めてダラスでというかもう海外でやることが初めてなので、そういう意味ではとてもエキサイトしております。
So he's excited at both levels. He's excited for the two events at the same level. But since this Dallas opening fight is in Dallas, but especially in overseas, it is the first time, so he's excited about it.
Based on your previous experiences, what do you enjoy most about performing in front of American audiences?
これまでの経験の中で、どんな時に一番アメリカでプロレスを皆さんの前にする時にどんなことが一番楽しみにしていますか？
でも今日もありましたけど、すごい岡田コールで迎え入れてくれるというか、またやっぱり、日本もそうですしメキシコも違ってアメリカも応援の仕方が違って、やっぱりこうやって大きな岡田コールで、海外でですね岡田呼ばれることもなかなか不思議な感覚ですし、そうやって海外で岡田と本当大きなコールで呼ばれることはやっぱなんか試合してて一番楽しい時でありますね。
So, there was an Okada call today too, and he wrestles usually. I wrestle in Japan usually, but when I go to Mexico and US, all the chants are different. But it's so good to be called, but it's so good to have a chant, Okada call. Yeah.
Stated before that bringing the G1 Climax to the U.S. was a dream of yours. Now that you have to face Tanahashi in the opener, do you have any trepidation towards that, or are you excited for the challenge?
So about trepidation?
Fear, anxiety.
その G1 を海外にでやるということを前から希望されていて、それが叶ったわけですけども、今回田中さんと対戦されると。それに関してのどう思われますか？それは怖いですか？それとも楽しみですか？
やっぱり楽しみですね。本当にもう、G1 での田中戦っていうのはもうずっと30分時間切れ引き分けが続いてましたし、やっぱり一回本当にもうシカゴで僕と田中さんが向き合ってるだけでThis is awesome ってちゃんと起きてたんで、本当にもうこの戦いをまたぜひ海外でやりたいなと長いこと思って、やっと今回実現できる戦いなので楽しみです。
So, yeah, I'm very excited. Tanahashi and I has been facing and in the G1 and then the 30 minutes match has been draw for so many times. And when I faced with Tanahashi in Chicago, just facing with him, and we got the chant that this is awesome. So I'm very excited.
Assuming you win your block, who would you be most excited to face in the final?
この A ブロックで勝ち上がって、そしたら誰と対戦するのが一番楽しみですか？
正直 B ブロックの人があまり誰がいるか分かってない。本当にもう今 A ブロックだけに集中しているので、 B ブロックが誰がいいかっていうのは分からないぐらいなんですけども、もちろん誰でもいいですし、本当にまずは A ブロックの戦いに集中したいなと思います。
To be honest with you, I don't really know about who is in B block. Rather, I'm really concentrated on A block to win that A block, and I am really okay with anyone to fight against if I when I win that A block.
All right, this will be our last question.
Only 2 champions have ever won the G1 as IWGP champion. How important is it to your legacy to accomplish this task or feat?
Only 2 champions?
Muto and Sasuke.
Okay, can you repeat that question?
Only 2 champions, 2 IWGP champions have ever won the G1 Climax. How important is it to his legacy to do that as well?
Thank you. So, これまでで、IWGP チャンピオンで2人だけ、G1 勝ってますけど、その栄光に対してどう思われますか？
本当にチャンピオンのまま G1 を制するというのは本当に、僕もそれはすごい分かっていることなんですけども、すごい難しいことですし、でもその2人しかできてないことが僕にはできないとはとても思えないので、何回も言ってますけども、本当にチャンピオンとして今回も優勝を目指しますし、本当に今回の、会見で改めてオスプレイもそうですし、ランスもそうですし、G1 勝って東京ドームでこのベルトだと言ってて、やっぱりみんなが目指しているものが最終的に目指しているものはこのベルトなんだなと思って、なので本当にもう何回も言ってますけど、しっかりこのチャンピオンのまま優勝したいなと、G1 クライマックス制したいと思います。
So, like you say, it's so difficult to win the G1 as an IWGP champion, but I don't think this is impossible to achieve that. In today's conference, I realized again, and everyone is fighting for this belt. So I would like to win the G1 tournament as a champion.
Thank you, Okada.
Same ones, right?
My picking? Yeah, if you'd like to.
Okay, sure.
Okay. 今回の G1 で内藤選手と最終公式戦で初めてシングル戦うと思うんですけども、この対内藤について伺いたいんですけど。
Could you tell us how you feel about going against Naito for the first time at the end of the official A block tournament?
So Naito will fall under everybody when I said I don't care about everybody else in this tournament, but I figured I'd have to repeat myself multiple times. Naito, what is he, the Intercontinental Champion now? There was a chance earlier in the year where I thought our paths might cross if he could win the New Japan Cup. He was talking about wanting to be a double champion, but he was out of that I think pretty soon, wasn't he? So he failed there. So now he gets another chance to get in the ring with me. Yeah, something that has eluded him. So Naito's always looking for that next thing to kind of make him. He's just not quite there. He's always at the forefront in New Japan. The fans love him, but he's missing something. Maybe what he's missing is just some time in the ring with me to, make his name bigger, make him bigger in the eyes of everybody else. So, how do I feel about it? Look, it's just me making all these guys bigger stars as usual.
That's right. You got more?
日本語にお願いします。
どうぞ。
今までいろんな選手のことはもうどうでもいいと言ってきたんですけれども、内藤選手は今インターコンチネンタルのチャンピオンで、 ニュージャパンカップの時も、その可能性があったんだけれども、俺が、その可能性を潰した。で、今回またチャンスが来たわけだけれども、内藤選手にチャンスが来たわけだけれども、なんか内藤選手は完全に100% じゃないっていうか、なんか欠けてる部分があるような感じがするんだけれども、それは多分俺と勝負をして、それで、もっとビッグになるそのチャンスっていうのを、待ってるんじゃないかなと思います。それで俺とやるやつはいつももっとやって、もっともっとビッグになっていくっていう、そういうチャンスがあるわけです。
You called America, quote, a cesspit. What do you dislike about this country so much in your time here?
You, for one. I said out there, the fans are so entitled. They think everything's owed to them, and that's always been the case with US-based wrestling fans. So that's why it's a little disappointing that this tournament, it's very historic. However long it's been going for, was this the 29th now? Always starting in Japan, and I'm not too fond of the fans in Japan either, but they have at least a little bit more respect for what we do than the fans over here. So the fact that this tournament is starting here, it's really disappointing. What makes it cesspit? Simple, the people.
Well said. Do any of your feelings of negativity towards America come from your failure at Madison Square Garden earlier this year?
You're feeling a little brave there, huh? Because you're in that seat. All right. My failure? Depends how you look at it. Yeah, I lost the belt, but I also single-handedly sold out the world's most famous arena. So is that really a failure? I'll leave it up to you guys to decide for yourselves, because I can see that it's pretty hard to change some of your minds. So it's like arguing with an idiot, isn't it? It's quite pointless.
ジョン・モクスリー選手が G1 初参戦します。元 WWE の、現役バリバリの選手が G1 に来るのは初めてだと思いますが、どう思いますか？
So could you give us a comment about how you feel about Jay Moxley, who used to be the champion in WWE, coming into G1?
You didn't listen to anything that I said out there, did you? No. I feel about John Moxley. I have no feelings about him. I have no feelings about this tournament or any of the people in it. Sure, I have thoughts. I don't have feelings about it. My thoughts on John Moxley, I don't know. Is he trying to beat me? We saw his video. He has the tally marks on the wall. He's fighting with his knives as well. Look, if he wanted, I can give him a T-shirt. I understand why he's come out here, because the biggest star is out here. He'd been done with the place that he was at, and then look over in Japan and. Still working? There we go. Look over in Japan and here I am making waves. So he sees that, he wants to get in on that, as everybody else does. Those are my thoughts on John Moxley. It's almost quite nice as well that for once there's somebody else that's just a little bit closer to me in terms of star power and star quality, because I'm so much further ahead of everybody else that I've been having to wrestle recently. So that's a nice surprise. It's a nice change to have someone a little bit closer. But even John Moxley, I'm still miles ahead of him.
俺の意見っていうのはどうでも他の選手はどうでもいいっていう感じなんだけれども、そのモクスリーに関しては、俺という大スターがいるから、今回出てこなかったのかもしれないけれども、スターの資質とか、力、スターのパワーということを考えれば、モクスリーは俺には少し近いんじゃないかなと思う、他の選手と比べて。だからこれはちょっと面白い、サプライズでもあって、それはいいんじゃないかと思う。ただ、彼だってやっぱり俺とはもう本当に雲泥の差なんだ。
Yeah.
Could we get a comment about your former stablemate now abdicating to Chaos?
Oh, Robbie?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's Robbie never felt like he really belonged. We tried to help him out, but he made his decision. If he wants to go and whatever it is, have his little friendship with Will, if that's more important to him, then fine. But I tried to give him benefit of the doubt. I think we all did. But that's something that we'll have to put on the back burner for now. We've got this tournament right now, so that's at the forefront of my mind. But no, Robbie isn't going to get off easy at all. We're not going to forget about that. But we'll have to come back to that a little bit later.
Three questions. J 選手にとって IWGP ヘビー級王者としての2ヶ月間どういう時間でしたか
Can you share how was your days with the IWGP Championship belt for 2 months?
How were my days? It's the same as when I'm not with it. I don't just carry it around with me and go to parks and go play on playgrounds with it. What type of question is that?
チャンピオンベルトを持ってその2ヶ月間毎日公園に行ったり過ごしていたわけじゃないので、そういう質問は意味がないかな。
G1 クライマックス2回目ですけど、G1 は特別な意味のある大会ですか
Is it the G1? Is it a special tournament for you since you're going to be in this for the second time?
No, I just said that out there. I get some of it's lost in translation. It hasn't got back to you. No, it's not special to me. I just made my point out there that it is a joke that I have to be in this tournament in the first place. I haven't had my rematch from MSG. Tana comes back from a couple months out doing nothing whilst I'm working my ass off in Japan. He says he wants the belt, so now I have to go in and shut him up, and then I have to have a match with him. But I still beat him. So I proved myself then. And then Chris fucking Jericho comes in and just jumps to the front of the line, which I understand, but it still pisses me off that I am kept at the back of the line when really I'm at the front. So the fact I'm in this G1, no, it's not special to me. It's sickening that I have to go through this. I have to prove myself against all these other guys. I have to go through all these matches just to win what I already have. And that is the number one contendership for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
さっきも言ったんだけれども、何度も言いたくはないんだけれども、今回また G1 になるっていう G1 に入ったということで、それは全然特別なものではない、特別な感情はない。なぜかっていうと、なんで俺がここに入って、その試合をして IWGP の最終的な権利の資格を取らなければいけないのかっていう、そこがもう本当に全く理解できない。でそれはちょっと本当に怒りを感じる部分だ。なんで自分をG1 で証明、その権利者の、権利があるっていうことを G1 を戦って証明しなければいけないのかっていうのはもう全く理解できない。
Last question.
Yeah, last one for you because these are shit.
この前に仙台大会で、後藤選手に、襲われたんですけど、いや、これ試合後に襲われたんです。襲われたんですけど、後藤選手の印象はそれで変わりましたか
？Did the incident that Goto attacked you after the tournament, after the match in Sendai, change your impression about him?
Not overall, no. It was a little different of him. The Goto of old would have walked down and just probably got in and slowly stood in front of me, did some hand gestures, and then that was it. But it was kind of impressive that he actually he came and tried to take what he wants and tries to actually make a statement, actually show a bit of fight for once in his miserable life and career. But overall, is it going to make a difference? No. Like everybody, I'm miles ahead of Goto. I don't know how. I think I've been in 4 times now. There was a couple of 2 tag matches. There was the over-the-top rope 10-man we had, and then the singles match. And now I've got to do it again. So he is lucky that I'm 1 in this tournament, and that 2, the tournament is set up like this. So then he just happens to get another match with me. Because if it was just up to me, and they were trying to put me in a match with Goto, I would not show up. There's no reason for me to have another match with Goto. So he's lucky.
後藤選手に対する印象は変わってはないんだけども、時は別に自分の前に立って、その卑猥な ジェスチャーというかそういうことをやってもよかったんだけれども、彼が実際に、その襲ってきたっていうこと、それは彼としてはちゃんと自分の意思を表明してて、それはいいんじゃないかなと思う。でそのファイト精神というのはそこで感じた。ただその全体的な彼の印象というのは変わっていない。でこれまで4回、タッグチームとして2回、それからシングルスもやったんだけれども、彼はその今回俺がここにいることで G1 で戦えるっていうことで、彼にとってはすごく幸運なラッキーなチャンスだと思う。ただ全体の印象は変わらない。
Go to someone at the back. You'll be next, buddy. Don't worry.
Talk a little bit about Chase Owens and the role that he plays in helping you prepare for your tournament.
Man, Chase has been getting better. He's made some waves this year. Finally, a good question. Not something I've already answered about 5 times, you two. Yeah, Chase has been doing good. Who did he beat Juice earlier in the year? Came close for the belt. Beat Makabe recently and came close again for the belt. So the way he's going is great. You know, so I'm assuming he's I haven't looked at all the tag matches are, but I'm assuming he's with me. So no, I'm very happy about that. You know, Chase is he's been doing this longer than me. He's been doing it longer than a lot of guys, and he's often overlooked. So I'm happy he's going to be by my side for this. Yep.
How do you respond to those, not my words, that say Bullet Club has lost some luster since you took the lead role?
I understand what you mean and why they may mean it. That's because the Bullet Club of old, the elite Bullet Club, whatever you want to call it, those guys, they pandered to the fans. They kissed their ass. They tried to give them everything that they wanted. Me, I'm the opposite. That's why it feels that way. You know, those guys try to act like they're best friends with everybody. I'm very clearly above all the other fans, and I show it because I already know it. So that's the difference. That's why it feels that way, is because the fans, they're not a part of this with me. I'm not doing this for them. I've said it a lot of times before. A lot of what I do it in spite of the fans. So that's the main difference there. And you know, it's a fair enough question, and appreciate the disclaimer that wasn't your words. But actually, hang on that same note, it depends how you look at it, because then, like I said, I was the headliner of a sold-out MSG show, and I'm with Bullet Club. So when you look at those facts, it's probably also not true. Anybody else? Orange shirt.
We saw you in Dallas a few years ago with your ROH excursion. Can you talk about your feelings coming back to the city after being gone for a few years?
There's no feelings, there's no emotional connection with me and this city. I forgot I'd even been here until you just said that. And to be honest, I can't remember what event that would have been. So, no, there's no emotional connection here.
Do you listen to any music to hype yourself up before a match, or what are some of your favorite bands?
I do, but anytime I get asked, I can never think of what I actually like listening to. And that's opening the doors into my personal life a little bit, so that you guys don't need to be a part of that. Next question.
This will be the last question.
All right.
Your stablemate, Bad Luck Fale's in the other block. Any expectations to potentially face him in finals, and is that something you guys have talked about?
We haven't talked about it yet. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but that'd be great if we both got that All Bullet Club final. That's the two of us, and then the reason we got on is we think similarly. So if we got to that point, neither one of us would want to go out there and have a beat the shit out of each other. That's it's counterproductive for our goals. So I'm sure if that was the case, we would all have a meeting prior and decide what was the best way to go forward.
Thanks, Jay. I've asked questions.
Okay.
Let's try to watch out. I'm sorry.
Damon McDonald.
Hi.
Question?
Kevin, being a true sports fan as you are, and the great history of pro wrestling in Dallas, what does it mean to you to be calling G1 in Dallas?
When I first came to Dallas, I was with WWE, and Dr. Tom Pritchard and I went over to the site of, and it was still standing at that point, the old Sportatorium. And he was explaining to me, like as we stood outside in the middle of the night, That's how you got in. That's the entrance. And I had grown up basically watching Stars of World Class, when I lived in Florida. So all of that history combined with all of New Japan's history and the greatest tournament of them all, when you think about Dallas and you think about wrestling and you think about the Von Erich family and all the great stars are here, generation after generation, and now that New Japan gets to put their stamp on it, to me it's the perfect scenario for wrestling fans that are my age, that remember those days, and the new younger generation of fans who only have seen they read the archives and they remember the history books, but it's incredible to be at the main chair now. And Jim Ross, I loved working with him. I always had a great relationship with Jim, and I know that when he and I worked together, we had a lot of fun. We told some great stories, and I just look forward to doing the same thing. Just let the athletes do their thing and tell the stories, and that's pretty much it. Yes.
A lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling fans used to say that the only way to watch the show was in Japanese to get the authentic emotional experience. But from the fans that I talk to and the people that I hear from, I find that's been changing ever since you joined the commentary. Now a lot of people say they prefer to listen to it in English because you bring that emotion to the Gaijin fans outside of Japan. How do you respond to that?
Well, we try to enhance the story without getting in the way of it. We have to make the experience better for the audience, otherwise there's no benefit to us being there. And so we just try to add value to every show and give the fans. It's not instead of. It's go back and watch it with Japanese, watch it with English, watch both, because I enjoy listening to the shows back in Japanese. I enjoy it because it's fun. I enjoy listening. My favorite announced team is Hugo Savinovich and Carlos Cabrera from WWE for years. They were my favorite. And because they and I didn't understand, I understood very little of what they said, but I just got a different emotional connection to the product. And so it's just another way of telling the story, but relating to the English-speaking world and making sure that the fans understand who these athletes are, what makes them so special, what they're fighting for, and we hope that it helps help them become better fans, more deeper fans. Yes.
The Madison Square Garden show was the first non-WWE event in that building since 1960. Now New Japan is coming to the American Airlines Center, which has never hosted a non-WWE wrestling event in the history of the venue. What do you think that says about New Japan's ability to claim market share?
Well, I think that it says that there are New Japan wrestling fans all over the world, that there is a lot of market share to go around, and that there are a lot of wrestling fans with different tastes, and you're willing to eat at different restaurants. So to me, it's the same thing. It's still food, it's still wrestling, but it's a different style and a different flavor. When I grew up in Florida, and I grew up watching Championship Wrestling from Florida. That's all I had seen live. And then the WWF came to the West Palm Beach Auditorium that I had seen dozens of shows in, and I felt like I was cheating on my girlfriend when I was there. Like it was that, like I had such a loyalty to it. I felt awful. But now, it's so diverse, and that, again, the choices that fans can make, they're at your fingertips. Any brand that you want to watch, any wrestling that you want to watch, streaming, GIFs on Twitter, whatever, however you want to experience it. So there's a lot of market share to go around, and there are millions and millions of fans who watch just on Monday nights alone during the peak of the Attitude Era who don't watch wrestling anymore. Where did they go? Were they all taken up in the rapture? I think they're still around. They haven't been spoken to, and they haven't been found. And now most of those fans have children or have had children, might even have grandchildren now who could be new to wrestling. So each generation there's new markets to conquer, and being able to get there's no language barrier to New Japan Pro Wrestling. We can go anywhere in the world. In England, we just completed a tour in Australia, in America, in Japan, wherever there is wrestling fans, there can be New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yes, dude.
Kevin, from broadcaster to broadcaster, how do you've done these tournaments, you've done Best Super Junior, New Japan Cup, and now the G1. How do you as a broadcaster prepare for a marathon like that? I compare it to, this is going to sound funny, Texas high school football, because you go possibly 16 weeks. Same with you, you're going all these nights with these tournaments. How do you prepare as a broadcaster?
I look at it as 19 stops along the road. There are 19 shows in this tournament, and I don't get too far ahead of myself. So a lot of times I've been asked, like, what matches are you looking forward to in this tournament? I'm really just focused on Saturday. I'm really just focused on Dallas. Now there's some ones that I kind of got my eye on, like at the end of the road with Juice and John Moxley. I'll be interested to see what that's, but who knows what they're going to be like at the end of this tournament. That's the thing, this is a marathon, not a sprint, so the guys have to look at it like I have 9 singles matches, and they take them one bite at a time. That's how you eat the elephant. And it's kind of my, feeling as a broadcaster, because of what happened in the previous event. That's going to affect the narrative on this most recent event. So, and it all starts tomorrow. So I've really got a clean sheet that I start with a little bit of biographical information and some historical reference, and then the rest will sort of build upon itself as the nights of the tournament go on.
Time for just one more.
Yes.
Well, you just sort of mentioned it, but I just wanted to ask the question about tomorrow night in your commentary. Are you going to bring up the fact about the history here and the Mark Lawrence and the Bill Mercers, Joe Ranellis, and those type of guys from back in the day that did so much of the commentary and ring announcing work here in Texas that brought world class to the forefront, where Seiji Sakaguchi and Inoki and Fujinami and those types from New Japan came over and wrestled on our big shows Thanksgiving and Christmas nights here in Dallas.
So when you look back, and I've got a Bill Mercer tip of the cap ready to go, because there's voices from your childhood that you remember. And that's what, we become music fans between the ages of 8 and 13. And those musical tastes that we got during that time, that stays with us through our whole lives. We might like new, different, current, whatever, but what's our fallback? It's the stuff that we liked when we were between the ages of 8 and 13. It's no different with wrestling. The age of fandom is that same time frame, and if you remember the voices from that time frame, that's what you're always going to like. So Bill Mercer to me is part and parcel with wrestling. So when you look at the history of Dallas and everything that has happened with the Von Erich family over the years and over the generations, and what could have been with David Von Erich, what could have been with Kevin and Kerry, what could have been, and how the Von Erich family legacy could have been written differently, how Gino Hernandez could have played a role in all of these things. It's the great what could have been. So we definitely will have a nods of the past tomorrow, but an intense focus on the greatest tournament in professional wrestling, with 20 amazing athletes and an incredible main event with Tanahashi versus Okada, a dream match that fans have longed to see outside of Japan, and now you get to see it tomorrow night. So that's it. And with that, I thank you all very much for being here.
Thanks, Kevin.
Hey guys.
Gotta leave the glasses on, I don't like making eye contact. So, how's everybody doing? We all good? Hungry. Go do it. Wonderful. How's this work? I don't know. I don't know how these
Feel
work.
free to call on anyone you'd like.
Yes. You've said that your talent level exceeds and is, equal to any of the champions in New Japan in past interviews. And do you carry that perception into this G1 Climax, that you're going to exceed or equal everybody else in it starting this weekend?
I said it out there, I don't plan on being the best, I plan on just doing my best, and my best is equaling quite a lot of people these days, and I don't know, I think my match quality just speaks for itself these days. I'm generally just trying my best. there's a lot of weight been put on my shoulders, I think, and a lot of expectation. I just generally want to do my best, and I generally do believe that I'm right where I belong with the heavyweights. I'm just trying to do my best to represent the junior heavyweights in the best I can.
A quick follow-up.
Yep.
Is the feud with Seth Rollins over now?
Yeah, it's not even a feud, it was just a bit of banter. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just a laugh. Even when I said it out there, it was just like, it's just me having a laugh. Like, people just take everything so damn fucking seriously. Like, sorry for swearing, I'm just in a bad mood. So, at the end of it, it's just, I respect Seth, Tyler. I don't even know his real name. I respect him. He's like a great wrestler, great guy. And at the end of it, like, I wasn't offended by the bank account thing. I would love your bank account. Like, money is great, but it's not everything to me. Happiness is my main thing. And even though I sometimes struggle to find it, I'm happy when I'm inside a New Japan Pro Wrestling ring.
Thank you.
So you mentioned you're going to be in all 3 big singles tournaments this year. Is there anything about your conditioning or your wrestling that you've changed to prepare to do all those big singles matches?
I mean, I don't know. I just wrestle. Like, it's all just a part of a learning curve. Like, when I broke my ribs in October. Yeah, I broke my ribs in October, and I was out for 6 weeks, I think it was, and I was meant to be out longer, but I managed to just scrape by because I really wanted to make Wrestle Kingdom. I have no idea how much I really wanted to make Wrestle Kingdom, so I did a lot of things and I was just able to barely make it. I'm still feeling the effects, but at the end of it, I feel like my wrestling now has changed in some ways. It's just kind of a nice way of evolving, I guess. I'm not as flippy, I'm not as jumpy as I once was, because I feel like everyone hears Will Ospreay and just instantly thinks of that Ricochet match from back in 2016, and I've put on a lot of size since then. I've gained a lot of weight. I'm a lot fatter now as well. I can feel the love handles urging out of this belt, but I think it's just the necessary changes to, I don't know, just compete with the heavyweights. And I don't know, I feel like people keep saying I've changed. I don't think I have. I still feel like I'm about to go down to Essex and do a backyard wrestling show, do you know what I mean? So I still feel like Billy. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, in the past, I spoke with you and you said your love for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And any other kind of video game that you...
The Spider-Man one that they've just released is like the best video game of all time. Really? I don't care. I love it. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man.
Have you got a chance to see the new movie?
No, I haven't. I saw Endgame and I was like,
real good, wasn't it?
Dude, I was losing my effing mind. The moment that they were all standing there and he went, Avengers
Assemble.
I just went, oh, this is the greatest. This is the best.
A follow-up question: that have you put any kind of moves from video games into your repertoire?
Oh yeah, loads.
What are some of your favorites?
I used to play. Do you remember the first ever Spider-Man game?
Yes.
Atari. It was on PS1 or something along those lines, and just every now and again you just see something that he would do. Right now I just can't think of any. I don't know, but I think video games are generally the idea behind my character, behind a lot of the things I do, especially the Assassin's Creed, the way that free running was a huge part of my childhood, and I was always in London just climbing up on people's scaffoldings and jumping off and stuff, and I got in so much trouble for it, but I just remember my trainer Greg Burridge would always just say you need to find something that you relate to, something that's different, and you need to be different to what everyone else is doing, and Assassin's Creed was the coolest thing at the time, and I still think it's super cool. But yeah, and I just was I do free running, I do the moves that this Ezio guy kind of does, so maybe I'll stylize myself like him, and it was the first time I came out with that coat in Progress, and people would say, oh, Assassin's Creed, and I feel like people was oh, you better move like him. And I feel like it did, and the rest is history, I guess. Gentleman at the back.
Much is made about the physical toll G1 takes on a wrestler. Can you talk a little bit more about the mental and how you prepare and how you get yourself up each and every night?
I don't know. I do because I need to, and it's not it's not like anything about contracts. Because if I don't pick myself out of bed, then I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna stay there. My head gets the better of me all the time. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like you got the better of me. Like today, this morning, I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, give me a minute. There'll always be like just one thing, and the one thing that just tipped me over the edge. I don't like travelling. I don't like being away from home. And now I had to be an adult. And I've moved my entire life to Japan to try and take some type of responsibility, because I've always been. I've always been a kid. I've always been like that dumbass guy on Twitter who's just like, oh God, what's Will said now? I've always been that guy. And recently now I've had to be an adult, but I don't want to be. I've got to be an adult. I've got responsibilities now. I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got dogs to look after. I've got a missus to look after. I've got 2 parents at home, and like I'm helping pay their bills. I'm a 26-year-old man. Like, this isn't what 26-year-old people normally do. And everything's just been piled onto me at once. And yeah, I do stress out. I was in the New Japan Cup when I lost to Okada. That was genuine emotion that came out. Like, I just cried because it was one of the worst months of my entire effing life. And it was just because I was just like, I put everything in there. The wrestling ring is generally my meditation. It's the one place where there's nothing on the outside matters, and everything that matters to me is inside that wrestling ring. Like, I don't like public speaking. I don't like talking to any of you guys. I really don't. But then when I'm half naked, I'm just like in my sex pants. Like, I feel great. Like, do you know what I mean? It's such a weird world, but it's so weird how my anxiety and my depression just goes away the moment my music hits. And then the moment the bell rings, it comes back. And I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I was about to ask, why do you think that is? Do you just get lost in the moment? Do you just concentrate on what you need to accomplish? What happens?
I don't know. I really don't. I wish I could. I honestly wish I could. But there are just some nights I don't want to be Will Ospreay. I wish I was anyone else. I generally do. Because there's so much weight on my shoulders sometimes. I just crumble. I feel like I do anyway. I feel like I crumble. But it's just when I'm in the wrestling ring, I don't care. Like, maybe that is the reason behind this style that people are gonna. Maybe people think that this is a style that's gonna kill me, and then I'm just like, no, I'm fine. I feel invincible here. I feel strong, and this is the only time I can be strong. But I need to be strong because there are a lot of people going through the same shit that I'm going through, and I want to show them it's okay to be weak. It is okay to have those emotions. It's okay to cry, to feel alone, because I've picked myself out of bed, and I've got 10,000 people I've got to perform in front of, 1,000, 2,000, sometimes goes up to 40,000. And if I can pick myself out of bed to do it, everyone else can.
Just to follow up one last, who do you lean on then in those moments?
My missus. It's great. It's fantastic. My mum and dad. I've got some friends. Got a chat group called Ospreay and the Lackluster Juniors, because we just talk to each other. We're all going through some tough times. You never know what any pro wrestler's going through, because we're living life out of a bag, and we don't get to see our parents, we don't get to see our family all the time. So it does get hard. It gets real hard on me. I'm struggling, but I get through. I'm with her, and that picks me up every single effing day. Like, I've got these, like, the Japanese symbol is love there, and this ring's mine, that ring's hers. That gets me through. It doesn't come off until I wrestle, and it goes straight back on every single time. Helps me get through the day.
And this will be the last question.
Oh God, alright, fight for it. Ma'am?
So you said you would like to face Amazing Red on Twitter. So what would be your dream venue for that match?
Honestly, I think it would be best fitted in the Super J Cup. I think there's no better place for Amazing Red to reignite that spark. Admittedly, I know he wants to do it in House of Glory, and I respect that. But it needs to be on a grander stage, and this is the stage that I hold very, very dear to my heart. This is the company that's put a roof over my head. This is the company that reignites the flame every single time. This reignites my love, and I know he's going through some tough times right now. That with the injury, I know. Just 15 minutes, and I can bring back that Amazing Red that we all grew up watching, because I was Amazing Red versus Low Key at NWA TNA was one of the first like indie matches I watched, and I was just like, God, whoever this Amazing Red is, busting out infrareds off the top rope, code reds, and doing like Jackie Chan stuff. I was just like, this is the guy. And then just it would always be like, he is, and he's gone, and he's back, and he's gone, and he's back, and he's gone. I know in my heart of hearts, just one match, Will Ospreay versus Amazing Red, I can bring that man back. I can bring his spark back. I know I can. And I know he knows that I can as well, because he's doing these little videos and he wants to get back in the ring. I know he does. I know I can bring him back. Yeah. G1's going to be fun. I'll do my absolute best, guys. I promise.
Members of the media here would like to ask you a few questions. Okay, sure. Call on whoever.
Thank you very much. All right. Yes, young man.
Do you think there's anyone in this year's G1 who you can't submit?
Absolutely not. I think it's going to be very interesting climbing around Fale and Archer. There must be some sort of ancient proverb: the longer the limb, the easier the submission, or something. I don't know. You can quote me on that one. Yes.
Piggybacking off what he just said about Fale, do you feel like you might have poked the bear a little bit tonight?
Probably. I might just end up dead. Yeah.
Is there any fear going into that match with him now?
Well, I mean, if he kills me, I think it'll be over quite quickly, won't it? So I can't imagine I have too much time to dwell on it. No, I mean, I've been fighting big boy heavyweights since I was 16. So yeah, I think the time to be scared has long gone, luckily. Yeah, should be interesting. Yeah.
Do you ever get in trouble for some of the more socialist stuff you say in these press conferences? And what are some of your favorite bands?
No, I think for the most part, everything I say in Japan sort of goes over everyone's heads. So I think sort of my plans to nationalise New Japan haven't quite been recognised just yet. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And so my favourite, Idol's my favourite band in the world right now. You should be able to watch it in America. The Glastonbury performance that they did last week is like one I know just felt special, which is sort of rare when you're watching it like a first-time Glastonbury appearance.
Do you listen to any music when you train, or?
Yeah, it varies. I probably listen to guitar stuff just when I'm traveling. Like I like sort of more left field, experimental sort of dance music or techno, I guess. So I generally listen to that or grime in the gym. Like Skepta's record was really good. Dave and AJ Chasey put out some really good albums. Like Grime's never been better in the UK. Fontaine's DC, that's one of the best sort of punk records of the year. Black Midi as well. Yeah, one of the benefits of being in limbo travelling is that I have loads of time to listen to records. Yeah.
How important is it for you to main event the Royal Quest event this summer?
That's the only priority for me right now. To be honest, it's more important than G1. Sort of I debuted in 2004 when sort of it was a regular occurrence to wrestle in front of 5 people in a working men's club. I guess the equivalent of a, what do you call them here? Like a Legion Hall or something? Yeah. And then it wasn't that long ago that a promoter told us we better, get it together because we got a sold out crowd of 150 people, so you better put a shift in. So yeah, to be in the copper box in the Olympic Park, there was a lot of sort of criticism. Well, I mean, usually with sort of the Olympics, but I think to be able to do sort of first big professional wrestling event for New Japan in England, in East London, where I'm living right now, where I could technically walk. I mean, it's very convenient for me. Also, I think it's very important for the British wrestling scene. Thank you. Yeah.
In your own words, how would you describe your style of wrestling, and how does it compare to what American fans might be used to seeing?
Are you familiar with the architecture socialist realism? So essentially, that's how I would describe my style. Sure. Next.
Mentioned, so you're kind of one of the faces of British wrestling, and it seems like it's changing with like a performance center in the UK now. What do you think about the state of British wrestling right now?
I think it's never been stronger. I think people sort of think that it goes cyclical. But yeah, there's never been. I mean, there is a plethora of people in the UK making a full-time living from British wrestling, where sort of a decade ago that wasn't possible at all. I think WWE opening a performance centre, NXT UK just gives more exposure and more sort of validation. But obviously I think moving forward after Royal Quest, even saying Royal Quest out loud makes me sick. After the event at the Copper Box on August 31st, hopefully it will sort of give New Japan an indication of just how important the British wrestling scene is. And obviously I'd love for us to open a dojo there at some point. Oh, yeah.
Bit of a two-parter. What is your relationship with the guys in Suzuki been? Like, what does it mean for you to be a part of that group?
I can't imagine not being, in any other group now, which in my nowadays would have seemed like I was sent to hell or purgatory. But yeah, I get on great with the guys. Kanemaru, I met in the UK in 2008 when I had a vastly bigger haircut and still the same size chin. And then, yeah, Taichi's one of my closest friends now. My liver, I don't think, is overly happy with our friendship. And then obviously being in, getting to watch Suzuki sort of firsthand has been, it's been one of the best experiences. I feel like my career has been sort of chaptered by sort of the more experienced wrestlers that I get to learn from. So I feel like my time with Agawa in Noah, sort of when that comes to end, sort of I've got a new sort of influence on me now, which I presume is bad for society, but it's great for me. Yeah.
Last year, you had said once you won the G1 that you were going to forego getting your title shot in the Tokyo Dome, and you'd rather do it in England. Is that still part of your goal this year?
Yeah, I don't really care about baseball, so the Tokyo Dome means nothing to me. I'd much rather do it in the UK, where I can just get on the train for 2 stops, or if I'm feeling very sort of energised, I can walk there. I'm proud to be part of New Japan. It was the only goal that I set, properly when I was 14 years old. I told my career guidance counsellor, and she rightfully thought I was a maniac. But I eventually proved her wrong. And sort of simultaneous, I want to be part of New Japan for the rest of my career, but I'm still, at my core, a British wrestler. So my focus is to put as much spotlight on the scene and continue growing it. So I think I can do that better with a big title match in England than sort of in the Tokyo Dome, which is too big.
You mentioned the British scene several times in the UK wrestling scene, and last month we were all shocked by the passing of Lionheart. Can you give us some thoughts on that and how that has rippled through the scene there?
I was in Japan when I found out, so yeah, it was a hard month because Aoki passed away as well. I can't proclaim to be the closest person to Adrian, but he was someone that any time I was at a show, I thoroughly enjoyed being around, and I got to wrestle him a few times. But he was just sort of instrumental to the Scottish scene, and I think especially at a period where it was growing and not a lot of people were sort of perceived to be stars, Lionheart carried himself really well. I'm sort of most devastated for my friends that were really close to him. But obviously the outpour, I think it's sad when it takes something like that, but I think it's apparent sort of the impact he had on the scene. And I'll sad to miss his funeral. Sure.
Zach, to Emilio Sparks from
Oh,
Wrestling
right.
What's up,
How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, good, thank
So
you.
you talked about some grime hip hop.
Yeah.
What are you doing New York wise too? Because I remember you and me had some really interesting conversations in Brooklyn about some hip hop. And when you were rolling in doing jiu-jitsu, what were you listening to specifically?
So that was when I was training at Williamsburg MMA. So I left New York at the end of 2017. I know, I try to keep up with grime as much as possible. Logan Sama has a really good playlist on Spotify. I don't know, you can give me his recommendations for East Coast hip hop.
I got you on tweet.
Okay, thank you.
You had mentioned earlier on in the press conference before that your entire goal was to bring British wrestling to a grander stage. Who would you determine to be the best opportunity to do that, to bring your style, the British style of submission and grappling, to a worldwide stage?
Well, it'd be me, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Assuming you can't wrestle yourself.
Well, I know it's not just obviously specific to British wrestlers, Tip Thatcher. John Gresham are both incredible technical wrestlers that completely admire and sort of promote a British style in sort of great honour. Hideki Suzuki, obviously trained by Billy Robinson. So I don't know. It's a bit obtuse because my entire sort of motivation is entwined with the British style and sort of hopefully doing it in my own way. Like I think obviously World of Sport got taken off TV in the 80s and it would have progressed. So it doesn't really interest me to sort of emulate like a past era. I want to sort of progress it in my own way.
Pun intended?
Pun intended, yeah.
Is there anyone else on the UK scene, maybe like the OJMO, people like that, who you see coming to Japan soon?
Sure. I think there's never been more opportunities. I think it's incredible. Like when I first went to Noah, like Doug Williams had been there before, Pac was in Dragon Gate, and then that was kind of it. Haskins did a couple of tours of Dragon Gate, but for there to be a wrestler in almost every major company, and obviously there's a lot of British girls that have been going to Stardom as well, and they've been doing really well. I mean, B's killing it. I'm obviously incredibly biased, so my focus would be, I want to get some of the English boys, or some of the British boys into the New Japan dojo. I think that's a focus. Gabe Kidd's going to be going to the LA dojo. He was someone that made an immediate impression on me the first time I wrestled, and he's about 40 years younger than me, which is incredibly depressing. I want to sort of start moving forward to getting the British boys into the New Japan dojo. I think that would be really good.
Thank you.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
What's up, Juice? All right, the fine members of the media here would like to ask you a few questions. Good, how are you? So feel free to call on whoever you'd like.
All right. Start. Go ahead. Right away. Is this sucker on?
Juice, do you hold the mic? We're live.
Yeah.
Juice, you're looking a little bit less flamboyant than usual, so I have to ask, why did you lose the dreads?
Well, it was just time for a change, and I felt like the dreads were starting to hold back. What I want to show people right now, and I think the dreads that was the last remaining bit of CJ Parker. I think that was attached to me, so it was time for him to go. I feel great now, though, by the way. I'm a new woman. Go ahead.
Recently there was news of your departure from Ring of Honor, and you were heading the Lifeblood stable. Do you want to comment on that at all?
I really don't know where that came from. I know I'm moving to Tokyo, and my schedules here is insane. I never told anyone that I was never going to do Ring of Honor ever again. I'm sure I'll be there. I don't know when though, but we're in the dog days right now, the G1, and before you know it, it's World Tag League, and it's only going to get busier and busier as far as just New Japan dates go, so I don't know. I'm only one man, so I'm sure I'll be there again.
As a follow-up, what's it been like working with such an eclectic group of people?
Well, those guys are all my friends as far as Lifeblood.
Right.
I mean, Bandito, he was just over here for the Super Junior. He's the sweetest boy of all time.
Very handsome, by the way.
Yes, I know. Nobody understands. I tell him all the time, stop wearing a mask. I know Waibushi wears one, but you don't need one. And then Haskins and Hot Sauce, we're all pretty good buddies, so it's not, it's really fun, actually. It's not really that big of a deal.
Since you already mentioned your history at CJ, does it bother you personally that both figuratively and literally, Jon Moxley came to New Japan and it seems like he's trying to take everything that was yours?
No, that doesn't bother me. Ask your question again. What actually the kind of stuff that bothers me is just constantly answering questions about CJ Parker. That's kind of more what gets on my nerves than a guy coming here who I think, just really loves wrestling and was upset where he was, and I can kind of relate, and then he needed a fresh start, and he needed to, be free, and now he is, so, he took my title, but he's in my block, and I'm going to see him in a few in a few weeks. So there's my chance to get my title back, win that match, challenge him, and see where it goes from there.
Do you have a different game plan going to that match with Moxley than your previous encounter?
Yeah, I think I better try to out-wrestle him. I don't think I can out-throw him through a table or jump off. I'm not going to jump off anything. You know, my ass is still pretty messed up, actually. Yeah, I got scars on my face, so I think, you know, he won the brawl, so maybe I'll try to Ricky Steamboat arm drag my way to victory.
Last year, Juice, you had an injury with your hand, and as a result of that, didn't have quite the tournament you were hoping for. This year, it seems that you're coming in with better health. What are your expectations, and you know, how are you preparing for the tournament differently to have better outcome?
Well, I'm healthy, so I can, you know, I don't have to constantly be thinking about a broken bone. So just mentally, it feels really good. This is the first year that I've really, you know, when you do it, the first year I did it, I was so, oh my God, it's the G1, this is the first one ever, I'm so nervous. And then, you know, the second one I had the broken hand, so, you know, third time's a charm. I'm healthy and I know what to expect. And looking at the schedule, seems pretty wrestler friendly this year as far as the travel and the time off between shows, so should be great. Go ahead, I'll just work back to it.
Yeah. Speaking back to your John Moxley match at the Best in Super Junior final, how do you feel that has prepared you better for this G1 going in? The sort of change in style that we saw in that match.
I mean, I always knew I could have matches like that. I think a lot of people knew that I could have matches like that. I think maybe some of the audience and maybe a lot of the media didn't know that I could have matches like that. I can have a lot of different kind of matches. That was one of them. So if I gotta go that route, the G1's a little different though. So I mean, that was a fight between Moxley and me. Most of the guys in my block, you know, it's going to be just straight up wrestling match. You start with Shingo. I got nothing against Shingo. I'm going to see how hard I can hit him, and I'm going to see how hard he can hit me. But there's really no reason for me to jump off a stage or throw him through a table or fight through the crowd. It's going to be probably all done within the confines of the squared circle.
The G1 seems like a very grueling tournament, but I notice on Instagram you guys, after your shows, tend to have a lot of fun, drinking some beers, eating some meat. What is the typical post-match ritual, and would you be able to talk about some of your favorite bands?
Yes. You're talking like during the G1 or during like the Best of the Super Juniors?
Is there a different?
Well, for me, I'm not a junior, so I have like, you know, I have to beat up Ren Narita and Shota Umino the next day, so I can drink into the wee hours of the morning. But you know, when you're in the G1, you try to do that sober, or at least me.
So just water.
Yeah, you know, maybe an oolong cha here and there. You know, just try to get a good meal and try to get to bed at a decent time. It's definitely not the party tour. Yeah, you don't want to be hungover or tired going into your big singles matches. And you said what bands do I like?
Yeah.
Jeez. Man. Well, obviously I love the Beatles. I mean, who doesn't? I'm John Butler Trio, do you know who they are? Abbott Brothers. I've been listening to a lot of Dirty Heads and like a lot of, I don't know, I've just been listening to this Beach Vibes thing on my Spotify over and over again for a while. I got really into A Star Is Born, so I know most of them songs. I don't know, I don't really like freak out over like one band. I got about 17,000 bands that I like, you know, just like everybody.
Moxley had some pretty strong words regarding his time in WWE that he brought up on the Talk to Jericho podcast. You know, you're kind of feuding with him right now. Did anything that he said during the podcast or in recent interviews resonate with you in your time in WWE?
I didn't hear his podcast with Jericho, and I haven't seen really any of his interviews besides the one right after our match. I think I kind of said it earlier. when you're working somewhere and you're not happy and you gotta leave to be happy. He did that. I can relate to it. So we're relatable in a lot of ways. He obviously did it from a very way higher of a level, but in the same way I kind of did the same thing. So I think that's pretty cool.
We got time for one more.
All right, then you can pick the first one because I don't want to be the bad guy.
All right, Kevin, go.
Sorry, one more. What does I'm sorry, I forgot for a second. Wow, I forgot. What else?
Pressure.
So, with New Japan coming to America, obviously you're one of the most popular foreign talents in Japan, but it seems like maybe they haven't done quite enough to promote you here. This being a big show here, how important is it to you to have a good performance here, and what can they do differently to help you to spearhead their expansion into America?
I haven't really noticed that, so I don't really know. I think that they, as a company, are giving me the same opportunities that they're giving everybody else, and if a guy like Will Ospreay is a little more popular with people here, that's really fine by me. We go all over the world now, so it's starting not to matter as much. Anybody else? Good.
Maybe one more. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You both can go.
Juice, tomorrow night you're going to be wrestling 10 minutes from where the Sportatorium used to sit.
Yeah.
How familiar are you with the legacy and the history of wrestling in the state of Texas, and especially world class?
Not so much. I know about the Dallas Sportatorium, of course, the Von Erichs. I know that place was a madhouse, but I'm not a Texas wrestling aficionado by any means. But it is cool that we'll be pretty close to where that was, because that was one of the most famous places to wrestle ever, I would say. So yeah, it's cool.
So you ended up being pretty much the best case scenario in terms of betting on yourself and walking out and discovering who you wanted to be and coming to New Japan. Are you surprised more guys and girls haven't done that? And what would your advice be to someone who's sort of in the position that you were in, where you say, I don't want to be here, I'm going to go find myself elsewhere and find that success? What's this? Obviously, everyone's going to have a different life experience, but what's your advice to someone who is putting their body on the line and they're not happy with what they're getting out of their employer and looking to go elsewhere?
Yeah, get out of there. Don't work there if you're not having a good time. Risky, because wrestling is such a fun thing, and if you're doing pro wrestling and the banner that you're doing it under makes you stay awake and not get sleep at night because it pisses you off, get the hell out of there and go work for somebody else. Unless money's your thing and you need to make a certain amount of whatever, I don't know. Money was never my thing in this. I want to do this because it was fun, and I think anybody that has that feeling should leave. And I think you see it a lot more lately. People are just like, wait, what? Why do I have to do this and be pissed off? You don't. So get on out and do your thing. Good?
That's great. Thanks. All right, so the meeting here are going to ask you a few questions. Please feel free to call on whoever you would like. If you want to try to
KENTA, how important is it to you to not just have a good performance in G1, but to show everybody that you're often imitated, never duplicated, that you really are the best at professional wrestling?
What did you say?
G1 で最高のパフォーマンスするだけではなくて、ご自身の確立されたスタイルというか見せるということがどのぐらい重要かどうか。
ここしばらくここ数年思ったような自分のプロレスができなかったんで、それをできる それをするということは僕にとって何よりも大事なことを自分らしく入れることっていうのは今の自分にはすごく大事なことなんで自分らしくいきたいと思ってます。
I was not being able to wrestle as I really wanted the last few years. So the most important thing is to be really myself.
So in this G1, you're going to have a lot of first-time matchups. Is there one opponent that you're really excited about facing?
It's difficult to pick one guy. So yeah, I haven't had most of people. So yeah, I know it's terrible answer, but but yeah, Okada is a IWGP champ, and then Tanahashi is won the last year, so yeah, but everybody, I'm excited to have match everybody, yeah.
And how important would it be for your legacy to win the IWGP title?
Well, as you know, I haven't had a good result last few years, so but I'm not done yet. I want to get result, the G1, IWGP. I want some title,
Thank you.
Will we see the Go to Sleep in the G1? And what are some of your favorite bands or music?
I will show you Go to Sleep for sure. Yeah.
And any music that you enjoy listening to in preparation for G1, or do you listen to music?
Music?
Yeah. Do you like any favorites?
Oh, just question?
Yeah.
Before I love hip hop or R&B, something like that, but now I have been living in States for about 5 years, so I always listen Japanese music. Yeah.
Now that you wrestled in both the United States and Japan, what are some of the differences in style that you've noticed? And how has it transitioned into your work as a wrestler?
My work. I think I need to be like the same. It's not different. Even States or Japan, I need to be like me, so I need to be myself. Yeah, this is important, I think.
Did you feel handcuffed when you were not you in the other place?
I couldn't be myself last few years, so I'm so excited to be myself tomorrow. I want to show, like I said, I came to New Japan to show who I am. So, tomorrow night, I want to be myself.
Your first opponent will be Ibushi. Do you have a set strategy going into a match with a striker like him?
Yeah, he's a good striker, but also I am. So, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. But I think he's the best opponent to show who I am. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Thank you.
Hi. Did you know you were going to New Japan when you left WWE? And did you ever consider going back to Pro Wrestling Noah?
It's tough to say, but like I said, I want to show who I am to the world. So now, like I said, New Japan is like it's going to be the worldwide. So that's why I choose New Japan Pro Wrestling. So yeah, after I left WWE, I considered to go New Japan or yeah, also Noah too, but yeah.
You said many times that you want to show the world Kenta's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
For people who are unfamiliar, what does that mean to you? What is your pro wrestling?
Please see tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain the word, you know, just I show you the answer.
Yes, so Shibata introduced you to New Japan fans in Dominion. Can you talk about your relationship with him, and are we going to see you guys on screen together moving forward?
Our relationship?
Yes.
You ask about our relationship? He always make me drunk. Yeah, that's our relationship. Yeah, no, you know, just kidding. We always fight. We never have much against, but we work together for a long time. So not only in the ring, out of the ring, we're really good friends. So yeah, tomorrow he's been in Dallas, so this is great to me.
This will be the last question.
You got to have a fresh start. You got to start over in NXT, and now you're getting to go back home to Japan, but you're starting somewhere new. How does that feel for you to get a new start in a new company in your home?
I feel great, you know. Like I said, I'm so excited to be a part of G1 Climax. So, and I can't wait to be myself. You know, it's great now. I feel great. I feel great to be a New Japan person right now.
Is it emotional for you to be
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
Ish.
All right. Go ahead, Steve. Start us off.
Ishii, are you the hardest hitting wrestler, not just in New Japan, but in this G1 Climax?
この G1 で石井選手が、一番こう打撃の強い選手でしょうか。打撃が強い。ハードヘビーって言ってるんで、まあ一番こうなんでしょう。彼らからするとバチンバチンみたいな大きな当たりをする普通のそれが一番強い選手かどうかっていうことを聞きます。ハードヒット。
まあそれは見てる人が判断してもらえる。
It's up to you. It's up to you to. It's up to viewers to decide.
Go ahead.
Ishii, which opponent in this G1 are you most looking forward to facing?
この G1 で誰と対戦することを一番楽しみにしていますか？
そういう誰というのはないですね。みんな全員ぶっ潰しに行くっていう、そういう気持ちしかない。こいつを倒すとかそういうのはない。全員ぶっ潰しに行く。
A really specific one, but I'm going to smash.
Emily, go ahead.
You're known as a very tough wrestler. Do you have advice for other wrestlers and people in general to become tougher?
石井選手は、すごくタフな選手として知られてますけれども、他のレスラーやまた一般の人々にタフになることについて何かアドバイスはありますか？
我慢。
Patience.
Yeah, Mike.
How does the G1 Climax airing tomorrow on Access TV live in the United States as well as over in Japan change your excitement and your anticipation for the opening night of the tournament? How does it change it compared to previous years?
失礼しました。明日テレビでG1 の開幕戦がダラスでの開幕戦が、テレビで生中継されますと。それは、これまでの G1 と比べて、そしてアメリカで全土で見れる、そして、ワールドもあるので全世界でそれを見れるわけですけども、どうこれまでと比べて、お気持ちに変わりがというか、気持ちはその皆さんにすぐ見てもらえるということに関して違いはありますでしょうか？
自分は昔から小さい会場だろうが大きい会場だろうが、何人見てようが、自分の試合をするだけっていうだけなので、それはあまり変わらないです。
I've been like this, whether the venue is small or big, or it's been broadcasted live or not, I'll do my best. So there's no change.
Next question. Jeremy, go ahead.
Ishii, what do you think about your popularity in the United States?
ご自身のはアメリカで人気だと思いますか？
よくわからないですね。
He's saying he doesn't know, but sorry, you were asking provided that he's famous, right?
He's very popular with the U.S. fans. How does he feel about that?
Okay, sorry. すみません、ちょっと僕が間違えました。とても石井選手は人気ですと。それについてどう思いますか？
特に声援をもらおうが、ブーイングをもらおうが、自分の、これもそうなんだ、自分の試合をするだけっていうことなので、そこまではあんまり考えてないですね。
So whether cheered or booed, it doesn't change any. Or so what I do is to do my best. So I don't really care.
Your style is reminiscent of Riki Choshu, and as Strong Style became popular in Japan, do you feel now that you guys, since the company is expanding west, do you feel that the Strong Style is taking a backseat to a more Western style of professional wrestling in terms of popularity within New Japan?
Are you asking that Strong Style is becoming westernized or Strong Style is changing?
Yeah, it's changing. Yes, I'm asking a more westernized.
ご自身のスタイルは私から見て、長州さんのスタイルに似てると思うんですけれども、新日本プロレスが人気になることによって、どんどん欧米に広がっていってます。それによってストロングスタイルっていうのは変わってきてると思うんですが。
俺自身が何がストロングスタイルかっていうのは別に分からないし、俺自分がストロングスタイルだとも思ってないし、 それはちょっとね変わる。何が変わる？
そうなんか人気がなっていってることによってこう日本であった音楽スタイルっていうのがどんどんこう、西洋化していっていると思いますかみたいな質問なんですけど。
ちょっと何がストロングスタイルかは俺は分からないので、ちょっと分からないです。
ありました。I don't really know what is strong style, so I don't know.
Kevin?
You seem in the ring and outside of the ring, you're very soft-spoken, very quiet. It's hard for us to know a lot about you. What is important to you in wrestling? What's important to your legacy?
What do you mean by legacy? Can you?
His career. What is important to him when he's done with his career to accomplish?
Okay. 石井選手が、あまりこう多くを語らない選手だと思うのですが、ご自身がリングの中でもあとリングの外でも大事にされプロレスを通して大事にされていること、あとはこうご自身のキャリアの中で大事にしていること、目指していることはありますでしょうか？プロレスそうですね。プロレスでですね、リングの中で試合で大切にしてる。はい。もしそれ以外でもリングの試合以外にあれば。
試合ではやっぱ相手もそうですけども、やっぱ自分に負けないことですからね。自分自身に負けたらもう終わりなんで。
So, in the ring, what I really what is important for me is not to lose by the opponent, also by myself. If I lose by myself, that's gonna be the end.
Last year, you had an all-time tournament performance in many people's opinions, but you still didn't win the tournament, and you didn't win your IWGP challenge. What are you doing differently this year to ensure that you win the tournament?
Ensuring
to make sure.
To make sure, yeah, to win the IWGP or
to win the tournament. Yeah.
去年とてもいいパフォーマンスをされていましたと思います。で、それはいろんな人が言ってますけれども、ただそれでも、IWGP のベルトに届かなかったと。で、今年はどういうことをしてこの G1 クライマックスを、勝ち抜こうと考えられますか？
さっき記者会見でも言ったように、結果、内容、インパクト、この3つ、全て出せるように毎試合ですね。これはG1 に関わらずずっとやってきたんですけど、今回は特に、この3つをですね、挑んでいきたいと思っていますけど。
Like I said in the press conference, 3 things are important: the result and what I can do in the ring. So I like content, and last one is impact. So not only for the G1, but I think for the pro wrestling and my pro wrestling, those 3 are really important.
One more question, please, Steve.
Whether you're in the first match of the night or the last match of the night, people often say you have the best match of the night. What gives you that spark to always give that performance?
最初の試合であろうとも最後の試合であろうとも人々は新選手の試合がこう、その大会のベストマッチだということがありますと。で、そういうなんていうかすごく人々にスパークって言ってたんですけど、なんか力はインパクトを与えるような試合をすることに対してどう思われてますか？なんでしょうね、どれがSo I'm asking, he's doing a really good match, right? So are you asking about him? analyzing him.
About his motivation to always be the best, no matter where he is on the card.
Okay, I see. どのカードのどの位置に試合の順番がどこであっても、いい試合をするというどういうふうにモチベーションを持っていますか？最初の頃の試合であってもいい試合をされてどうモチベーションを保っていますか？
なんだろうな、メインだからこういう試合をしようとか、セミだからこういう試合をしようとかっていう意識が全くないんで、ただ目の前の相手を、潰しに行くっていう気持ちしかないんで、だから別に試合順は関係ないっていうか。
So it doesn't really matter where I am placed in the first or at the end. What I always think and what I only think is just to smash the other opponent. So that's it. That's it.
Okay.
So please have any more questions?
Mike, you want to start?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, just great. I have never been tired.
So Okada versus Tanahashi has kind of defined New Japan and its popularity in the last several years. What does it mean to you to bring the match to the United States for the first time, not just as part of G1, but live on Access TV here in Dallas, bringing such an important definitive match for New Japan here to the States on such a big stage? What does that mean to you on a personal level?
岡田選手、田中選手対岡田選手っていうのはもう新日本の定義みたいなものだと思うんですけれども、それが、日本でやるんじゃなくて、それをアメリカで、そしてそれが、アクセス TV で生中継されます。それに対してどう思われますか？それはどういう意味があると思われますか？
棚橋対岡田は、この2人の戦いで、ここ数年の新日本プロレスを作ってきました。
I think so. Tanahashi versus Okada has been built New Japan for a few years.
でこの棚橋対岡田っていうのは完全にメイドインジャパンです。
Tanahashi versus Okada is completely made in Japan.
でその2人の戦いが、全米で、中継されるっていうのは本当に嬉しいし、誇りに思います。
I'm really pleased and proud that it's gonna be televised in the States, all over the States.
You have always been an ambassador for New Japan around the world and even saved them from the dark ages. There have been criticisms in the past that some of the cards presented in America weren't full New Japan shows. This seems to be the first truly full New Japan show presented in America, with you being at the top. How emotional is that for you to see the expansion and to be the catalyst for that?
田中選手はずっと新日本プロレスのいわば大使という形で活躍してこられていますけれども、これまでのアメリカの大会って、フルの新日本プロレス、これがもう新日本プロレスだっていうようなカードではないものも含まれているものもありますと。ただ今回はこれが新日本プロレスだというような大会になっていると思いますと、そこに関してのどんな感情を持たれていますか？
このアメリカに、新日本プロレスという、の戦いというもう一つの価値観、それを、持ってこられるってことがとても嬉しく思うし、そのもう一つの価値観で、 これからアメリカでも勝負していきます。
I'm so pleased to have bring the value of new fights of New Japan to the States, and we'll try expanding with this value from now on too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amelia, go ahead.
So one of the most visually appealing things besides just your professional wrestling has always been your hairstyles.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you have a team of hairstylists, or do you come up with the idea yourself to either braid them or change the color or do the cut? Because I always look forward to what hairstyle is the ace coming out when he wrestles. What goes on with the hair?
田中さんを代表するものってやっぱプロレスがありますけれども、それと別にやっぱり髪型っていうのもすごく特徴的ですと、でその髪型をいろいろブレードされたり色を変えられたりとかすることに関して、チームがいらっしゃるのか、それともご自分で今日はこんな風にしていこうかっていう風に、決められてるんでしょうかという。
日本にいるときは、行きつけのヘアスタイリストさん、美容師さんに、相談して、ヘアセットしてもらってますね。はい。
When I'm in Japan, there's a hairstylist of me, and I always talk and what to discuss, what I should do, and あとは。
僕がこう後ろ髪を伸ばしているのは、When I was young の時にプロレスファンの時にプロレスラーは後ろ髪が長いっていうのがあって、例えば For example 長州力とかに憧れたかっこいいなと思って、で今、いろんな髪型にチャレンジするのはファンの方に、それを見て楽しんでほしいからです。はい。
The reason why I grow hair here is that when I grew up as a pro wrestling fan, wrestlers like Choshu Ricky Choshu had long hair, side hair. So that's the reason. And I also, the reason to change the hair is that I want fans to enjoy.
That's all.
That's all.
First of all, welcome to Texas.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Speaking of which, you're going to be wrestling tomorrow, just minutes from where the Sportatorium was. How much do you know of Texas wrestling history and the Von Erichs, for example?
テキサスによくおっしゃいらっしゃいました。はい。スポーツトリオについておっしゃったんですけど、電動、いろいろテキサスのプロレスの歴史がありますけれども、そのプロレスをされる以外にテキサスでのそのプロレスについてはどう思われますか？
よくわかんないですけど、テキサスは、スタン・ハンセンのね、イメージが強いです。
To be honest with you, I don't really know, but I've got an impression that I have a Stan Hansen. His image is big.
Yeah.
See.
Fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling always like to speculate about how injured you are going into your matches. So let's hear from the ace himself. How healthy are you right now, and how will you endure this year's climax?
新日本プロレスのファンの方が、田中選手がどれだけ怪我の状態がどうかっていう話を、するのが、よくありますけれども、この機会に、エース自らがご自分の今状態がどうだっていうのを伝えてはいかがでしょうかと。またこの G1 クライマックスのシリーズをどう、頑張り抜こうと考えられてますか？
This year の、エイプリルに、サージェントですかね、手術したの。
サージェリー。
surgery, elbow, and my both knees. So. この G1 クライマックスは、真壁選手と鈴木みのる選手っていう年齢的に、ね、上の選手が抜けてすごくネクストジェネレーションというか若返りを会社の方向性としてあるんですね。そんな中で、この、石井選手が43で僕が42なんでオールテストなんですけど、そういった中でどういう戦いを見せるかと、もう一回時代をこの手に掴みます。
So last April, I injured and had a surgery my knee, elbow, and also my knees so. That's what he said personally. This G1, so Makabe and Minoru Suzuki weren't picked. That's the direction of the New Japan Pro Wrestling as a company that we need to make the tournament younger. You know, Ishii is 43 and myself is 42. So we are the two old ones, but under circumstances, I will be the champion.
Thank you.
All right, we have time for one more question. You haven't gotten yet. Go ahead.
As an alumnus to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I got to wrestle Fujinami, Riki Choshu, Seiji Sakaguchi, Inoki, and all those, I'm going to tell you, you're a little more like Kerry Von Erich. Your charisma in the ring and your hair, you have a lot of that Kerry Von Erich charisma. I've watched many of your matches. I wish I was 20 years older so I could get in the ring with you. Thank you for coming to Texas.
Thank you.
All right, we'll do one more question then. Emily.
そうですか。レスラーとして活躍されていて、で、坂口選手とかと、名前の選手とか戦ってました。ただ、あなたの方がカリスマがあって、キャリー・ボンゲアリーすごい分かったんですよ。のようですと。
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
This week showed a new finishing move.
Yep.
How did you come up with the new move and does it have a name?
Name is まだ決まってない。No yet ですね。今Getting Better もっと良くしようと思って今改良中です。
名前
を技自体の形を。New finisher is changing now. Yeah, getting better maybe.
Thank you, Tanahashi. All right.
動画は生じゃないです。動画は生じゃないです。いや、それはなしです。
That shoes. Same? It's almost, yeah.
All right, Steve, you want to start us off?
Mr. Naito, can you explain your treatment of the Intercontinental title? Is amusing to watch, but I think some fans may not know or understand why you treat the title the way that you do.
ベルトに関して、ベルトの扱い方に関してちょっと教えてほしいんですけども、ある人からすると、内藤さんがやってることは分かるけども、ある僕が新しい監督がそういうの分からないっていうので、どうしてそういうふうに扱われてるか教えてもらえますか。
どうして どうして
Are you asking why he treats the belt like he does, right?
Throws it around, throws it down, trades it for a pack of gum, you know.
そうどうしてそうベルトを扱われてるんですかってことです。
どう扱う？
投げたり。
ああ、なるほど。
はい、すみません。
はい。今回今井伏浩太からベルトを取り返してからは投げてないし、その前も投げてないし、投げてたのは過去の話ですけどね。今新日本プロレスにはたくさんチャンピオンベルトがあるわけで、このチャンピオンベルトっていうのはそんなに何本も必要なのかと、このベルトは今何のためにあるのかと、正直僕には疑問でしかないし、このベルトの存在意義っていうのが、よくわからないので、新日本プロレスはもう全員をチャンピオンにしたいのかなと、何のためのベルトなんだろうっていう疑問から、僕はこのベルトは必要ないと破壊に走ったわけですけども、今現在はこのベルトを保持しながら IWGP ヘビー級王座を一緒に保持したいという目標ができたので、今現在は別に雑には扱ってませんが、それでも僕自身はこのベルトに一体何の価値があるのかっていうのは未だに疑問です。
So, before I took this belt from Ibushi, I used to throw this belt around, and like But after I took this belt from Ibushi, I haven't doing such things. I was doing that because I was not clear what is this belt is for. Because there are many champion belts, some champion belts are in New Japan. So I was not sure what exactly this belt is for. But now that I have a purpose to obtain this belt as well as IWGP Heavyweight Championship belt, I will do my best to get the IWGP, and I will not treat the belt like that. But I still don't get what this belt means, though.
Arigato.
I'll go ahead.
I was wondering if I could get your comments or your opinions on facing your stablemate Shingo in this year's G1.
同じ、スインゴにいらっしゃる高木さんと対戦することに関してのご意見をお聞かせください。
我々ロス・インゴベルナブレス・デ・ハポンはユニットのメンバー内で常に競い合ってみんなでよりレベルアップをしていこうと、その結果より魅力的なユニットになるんじゃないかと僕はそう思っているので、ユニット内でも常に競い合っていると。でその中で、高木慎吾とは18歳の時ですね、今から19年前にレスラーになる前に出会って、その時から意識していた選手ではあるんですけども、今回この G1 クライマックスロス・インゴベルナブレス・デ・ハポンから4人エントリーした時点で、誰かと当たるわけで、この中で当たるんなら俺は高木慎吾と戦いたいなと思ってたので、同じグループになった時にすごい興奮したし、今現在今年の G1 クライマックスのことをいろいろ考えた時に、やはり8月4日大阪での高木慎吾戦っていうのが一番に頭に浮かぶというか、今年の G1 クライマックスで一番楽しみな対戦は高木慎吾戦であると、それは間違いないですね。
We lost in Gobernables de Japón. We always compete each other so that we can become a better and better group. So we don't think competing each other in the Los Ingobernables de Japón doesn't really matter. But with Shingo Takagi, I've been having some special feeling with him when I first met when I was 18 years old, before I became pro wrestler. So, and after 4 wrestlers from Los Ingobernables de Japón entered in the G1 Climax 29, I wanted to compete with Takagi. So when I discovered I will be competing with him, I was so excited. And what comes in my mind for the first time, thinking about G1 Climax, is that 4th of August in Osaka with Shingo Takagi. So that's what I'm excited about the most, and I'm looking forward to facing him.
So you've won the G1 Climax twice before, and both times lost in your IWGP title match in the Dome. With many thinking that you're the favorite to win this year's tournament, do you feel like it's make or break for you to win the title at Wrestle Kingdom this year? And how devastating would a loss be?
過去、G1 クライマックスで2回優勝されていて、で2回 IWGP ヘビーの、ベルトをかけて戦って、負けられています。で今回の G1 クライマックスで、勝つことによって、そういう状態が変わる、どう変わっていくと思われますか？So your question is how is gonna change his pro wrestling after if he wins G1 Climax?
My question is, he's challenged Okada twice before in the Dome, and if he wins, he would likely face him in the Dome again, and he's had 2 losses. So does he feel like for his career, for his legacy, it's imperative that he beat him this 3rd time if he does win? And if he were to lose to him a 3rd time, how devastating could that be?
Okay, sorry. すみません、ちょっと岡田さんのってことだったんですけど、岡田さんと、IWGP で戦って、2回負けていらっしゃると。で今回、勝ち上がっていくと岡田さんと対戦するとなると。でもし、勝てば、僕いいかもしれないし、負けられたら3度負けることになるので、そのダメージっていうのはどんなふうに考えられてますかっていう質問ですね。直訳です。はい。なるほど。
昔日本で活躍してたレスラーの名言で、負けた時のこと考えるバカいるかよという言葉がね、日本で浸透してるわけですけども、僕は負けた時のことを考えますね。負けたらこうなってしまう、そうなったら嫌だからこそ頑張ると、いつもだから僕は負けた時のことを考えるように、むしろ考えるようにしてるんですけど、でも今年の G1 クライマックスで優勝して、このままいけばまた東京ドームで岡田と、前々回同じ東京ドームで敗れた岡田と対戦することになりますが、今回に関しては負けた時のことが、負けた内藤哲也の姿を想像できないですね。前回前々回 G1 クライマックスで優勝して東京ドームに行った時に岡田に敗れましたけれども、今回は残念ながら勝ってしまうんじゃないかな。なんか明確な理由はないですけどね、その自信しかないですね。これも全てはデスティの運命ってことですよ。
So once in Japan, there's a saying in the pro wrestling: no wrestlers will think about the days after he's beaten. But I tend to think about it, and I'm trying to think about the days after I lost. So in this tournament, I'm going. If I goes up, then I will face with Okada. But this time, I cannot imagine I'll be losing against Okada. Before and I lost him twice, but I'm so confident that I'll be winning him over him this time. I don't know why, but I have a confidence, and it's a destino. I'm destined to win.
We have time for one more question. Emily?
Evil versus Sonata, who is going to win?
戦ったらどちらが勝つと思いますか？
普段タッグを組んでこうすぐそばで真田イービルのことを見てますが、真田からはすごく余裕を感じますね。というのは今年の3月のニュージャパンカップで、準優勝かなしまして、その時の自信っていうのがすごい見えますね。なので真田はすごく今冷静で、そして自信に満ち溢れてる感じがしますね。そんな中イービルはやはり真田への対抗意識、すごくライバル意識というか意識してるなっていうのはすごく近くにいて感じるし、あと高木慎吾っていう選手が入ってきて一番刺激を受けてるのはもしかしたらイービルなんじゃないのかなと。その辺のこう悔しさとか、現状への悔しさ、不満というか、そういうものをすごく今回の G1 クライマックス、特に対真田戦にぶつけてくるんじゃないかなと思うので、今現在2人が並んだ時真田が勝つような気はするけど、でも実際この2人が戦ってみたら今回俺はイービルが勝つんじゃないかなと思ってます。
So I usually I watch Sanada and Evil very, very closely and they are tagging. Sanada is currently he's really relaxed and calm, and he seems confident after New Japan Cup. And while Evil, he seems to have some rivalry against Sanada, and also appearance of Shingo Takagi is been making some impact on his attitude as well, in my opinion. So all those feelings like bitterness and not fulfilled with what he has been done, he's gonna put those emotions into and transform those negative emotions into energy, and especially in the match with Sanada. So at this moment, I think Sanada could win, but this time with those negative energy, Evil may be able to win. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Gracias.
De nada.
Thank you for listening to Keepin' It Strong Style. We'll see you next time.